He's speaking with Mike.
Hey, LeBron, jump shots weren't falling for you or AD specifically, and Kings obviously packing the paint. What's the balance there and trying to get there regardless if the shot's not falling, and how did you feel about the shots in OT?
No, I mean, it is balanced. I think out of my 25 shots, 13 of them was threes and the rest was in the paint. Besides a couple of my post moves, but that's a high percentage shot for me. But I'm always just trying to, play a balanced game, and tonight just wasn't going for myself or AD from the perimeter, but, we still had opportunities to win.
AD and Russ and Frank also mentioned this whole thing with short term, trying to find that desperation to win, and also this big picture. Where are you at right now, LeBron, after this trip and this 3 OT loss?
Me personally, I think there's room for us to continue to improve. Obviously, obviously it was a long trip for us, and that first game after a long trip is always the hardest one to kind of get your foot up underneath us, and kind of seen that in the first couple quarters. But we started to play some good basketball in the third and the fourth, and throughout the overtimes, we still, like I said, gave ourselves a chance to win. We just didn't have enough go down, and they made some big shots. Buddy made some big shots. Obviously, De'Aaron all night made some big shots, and he was able to take the game from us.
When Frank and Russ and yourself, for the most part, have talked about kind of understanding that this would be a process early, you guys have all done it with a pretty calm face. I'm curious, now that you're here, 10 and 11, every game feels like just a total fight. Is that calm? Is that calm really there? Or is that you guys just putting on a kind of a happy face about kind of the issues?
No, I mean, listen, we're all disgusted at losses. I mean, that's the way it is. But you got to also at the same time keep stay even keel throughout the whole process and understand that we can get better from our losses, we get better from our wins. We obviously will not like to be one game under 500 with a fourth into the season. But we know we got more room to improve. We got a lot more room to improve, and we haven't been, full, to start the season. Obviously I haven't played many games, and guys been in and out of the lineup. We still have 2 of our guys that haven't played at all yet, in TA and K-Nunn. But it make no mistake, we still got to play, Laker basketball. We still got to defend at a high level. We got to share the ball offensively, not turn the ball over. Obviously tonight, horrible turnovers on my part. I feel like I played a horrible game individually, and I hold myself to a higher standard than that. So, I got to be better for this team, even especially when we're going through what we're going through right now out on the floor.
LeBron, anyone who watched the Indiana game, let alone other games in your career, knows that you be on the perimeter in clutch situations could be a good thing for your team. Tonight, you didn't make them as much. I wondered if the looks, would you compare them differently in terms of, or was it more just a make situation for you?
I mean, it's always a miss or a make situation in our league. Obviously, people see the highlights and say, okay, he missed that. But I thought, the looks that I got wasn't pressured, wasn't sped up. Got great looks. The looks that I got tonight was actually better looks than the ones I got in Indy. I just made them. I mean, the step back that I had on Sabonis, he was literally inside my jersey. Just made it. So, I trust, the work that I've put into the game, and I'll take those same looks on Sunday, if this opportunity presents itself.
Sort of following up on what Dan was getting at, I know you guys haven't had your team very healthy for most of the year, and every quest to get a championship is difficult. But even so, on a night-to-night basis, I mean, do these games feel more difficult to win, especially when you're close, than expected?
No. I've never been in a situation throughout my career where I've always felt that games are more difficult to win than others. It is hard to win a professional ball game. I think that's the same for a football player, a baseball player, a hockey player, a soccer player. In professional sports, it's always difficult to win. No matter the outcome of the score, no matter how it may look from the outside looking in, it's just difficult to win because we're all pros. No matter who you're going against, we're all pros for a reason. And, it's always challenging, especially when you're going to get everybody's best shot every night.
Hey, LeBron, do you have any expectations for the game on Sunday with, with Isaiah Stewart and any sort of backlash going into that game?
No, I don't think it's. I don't go into a game and make it an individual thing. I saw his comments today, and he felt it was intentional or wasn't an accident. I'll go on the record again saying it was. The actual chop down was on purpose to get his arm off of me. That part was on purpose, but the point of my hand hitting his face was not on purpose. You can literally go through, numerous of plays in the NBA where guys are chopping down on guys' arms or on hands trying to get them off of them. If you really look at the play closely, he kind of got off balance when I chopped down, and that's how his head went into my hand. So it wasn't intentional at all. I've never been that player. I've never, ever tried to seek, a face contact like that. It's just not a part of my game or a part of basketball at all. So, but I don't go into that game with any expectation besides us trying to come out victorious and get back to 500. That is the most important thing, and and that's always been my mindset.
Buddy Hield scored 25 points coming off the bench for the Kings as they improved to 8-12.